Poem Book 1. Home, you're where it's warm inside. Home, you are a special place. You're where I wake and wash my face, brush my teeth and comb my hair, change my socks and underwear, clean my ears and blow my nose, try on all my parents' clothes. Home, you're where it's warm inside, where my tears are gently dried, where I'm comforted and fed, where I'm forced to go to bed, where there's always love to spare. Home, I'm glad that you are there. In this poem, the poet seems to have written about something that's really important to him or her. Did you hear a lot of details about what happens at their home? And the first stanza seems like it's a little bit silly, and the second stanza seems like it's kind of sentimental and sweet. So I really like that one. Let's go to the next poem. This one is called April Rain Song, and it's by the poet Langston Hughes. You see his name on the bottom to the right? And it is, it's showing that rain is important to him. It's about one thing. The last poem was about home. This poem is about rain. And this poet, Langston Hughes, really took a long time thinking about the details of what rain does and how it can make him feel. You're also going to notice that it doesn't have any rhyme. Let's go. April Rain Song. Let the rain kiss you. Let the rain beat upon your head with silver liquid drops. Let the rain sing you a lullaby. The rain makes still pools on the sidewalk. The rain makes running pools in the gutter. The rain plays a little sleep song on your roof at night. And I love the rain. Turn the page. The next poem is called My Favorite Things, and I bet that reminds you of something. Yeah, a song that we sing every Tuesday. And I didn't know if you knew this, but a lot of songs start out as poems. This one is written by Richard Rogers and Oscar Hammerstein. My Favorite Things. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells, and schnitzel with noodles. Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into springs. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad. Turn the page. This next poem is called The Leaves Are Turning Colors, and it's by Jack Prelutsky. The leaves are turning colors and dropping from the trees. They float and swirl and flutter. They dance upon the breeze. They're amber, red, and yellow. They make a lovely sight. And if it weren't summer, then that would be all right. And this poem starts out sounding very serious and artful, doesn't it? And then in the last two lines, Jack Prelutsky surprises you and makes it a little bit funny by saying, the leaves are falling down, but it's summer. Turn the page. This poem is called The View from Here, and this poem really makes me remember why poems are fun to write. And it's because you can use your imagination, and there's no right or wrong answer. If you can imagine it, you can write it. And that is what Jack Prelutsky did in this poem. The View from Here. The view from here is very strange. The porcupines are flying, the crocodiles are laughing, and the kangaroos are crying. The bobolink is bouncing on a tiny trampoline. A panda's flipping pancakes. It's no ordinary scene. An elephant is singing and a donkey does a dance. The octopus is juggling a variety of plants. A centipede is sneezing in an armadillo's ear, and storks are turning somersaults. I like the view from here. Turn the page. And this one's called I'm Shopping for a Dinosaur. You might notice that some of the lines in this poem make for a line break after them and others don't. Sometimes there's two lines that you say together without a line break, and sometimes you need a line break at the end of the line. Just kind of pay attention and listen for that and watch for that as we read together. I'm shopping for a dinosaur. I'm shopping for a dinosaur. I'd like one small enough to fit into my backpack that's already filled with stuff. I don't want one with pointy teeth or claws of any kind. The dinosaur I'm looking for is difficult to find. I'm shopping for a dinosaur and hunting all around. So far, I'm unsuccessful. It is nowhere to be found. I hear they disappeared before the year that I was born. I'm giving up on dinosaurs. I'll buy a unicorn. And here we are on the next page, and let's read these poems and then think for a moment about what they're both about. One thing, and what one thing? We'll start with the one on the left on the low side of the page. It's called Little Seeds. Little seeds we sow in spring, growing while robins sing. Give us carrots, peas, and beans, tomatoes, pumpkins, squash, and greens. And we pick them one and all through the summer, through the fall. Winter comes, then spring, and then little seeds we sow again. The next one on the top right is called A Spike of Green, and the picture might help you with this one a little bit. When I went out, the sun was hot. It shone upon my flower pot. And there I saw a spike of green that no one else had ever seen. On other days, the things I see are mostly old, except for me. But this green spike, so new and small, had never yet been seen at all. And what are both these poems about? Right? Plants. And that second one especially reminds me of when we grew grass in class together. Turn the page, and this page has 3 poems on it, and the first one is called The Little Turtle. There was a little turtle, he lived in a box, he swam in a puddle, he climbed on the rocks, he snapped at a mosquito, he snapped at a flea, he snapped at a minnow, and he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito, he caught the flea, he caught the minnow, but he didn't catch me. The next poem is called The Big Turtle, and even though it's called A Big Turtle, the poem is short. A big turtle sat on the end of a log, watching a tadpole turn into a frog. That's it. Snail's pace. Maybe it's so that snails are slow, they trudge along and tarry. But isn't it true you'd slow up too if you had a house to carry? Next page. One of the poems on this page is sort of cut off on the bottom left. Ignore that one. We're just going to read 2 on this page. Hide and seek shadow. I walked with my shadow, I ran with my shadow, I danced with my shadow, I did. Then a cloud came over, the sun went under, and my shadow stopped playing and hid. That one makes me think of Peter Pan with his shadow. Poor shadow, that's the next poem. Everything has a shadow, a mountain, a bird, or a ball. Only a poor, poor shadow hasn't a shadow at all. These poems make me think of all the shadow work we did way back on Groundhog's Day in February. And your silhouettes that are tucked away in the cupboard for you to come and get someday. Next page. Wouldn't you? If I could go as high and low as the wind, as the wind, as the wind can blow, I'd go. Next one is called A Kite. I often sit and wish that I could be a kite up in the sky and ride upon the breeze and go whichever way I chanced to blow. And our next poem is called The Butterfly. Up and down the air you float like a little fairy boat. I should like to sail the sky, gliding like a butterfly. That makes me think of you, Zachary, and your nonfiction book. Turn the page. This is the last page of poems, and these poems have a lot of writer's eyes in them. The first one at the top is called The Toaster, and listen to all the comparisons. What is the poet comparing the toaster to? A silver-scaled dragon with jaws flaming red sits at my elbow and toasts my bread. I hand him fat slices, and then one by one he hands them back when he sees they are done. Some really good writer's eyes comparing a toaster to a dragon with flaming jaws. The next one is about an imaginary dragon friend. My dragon. I have a purple dragon with a long brass tail that clangs, and anyone not nice to me soon feels his fiery fangs. So if you tell me I'm a dope or call my muscles jelly, you just might dwell 1,000,000,000 years inside his boiling belly. I bet that dragon imaginary friend makes him feel kind of protected. Silly. Here is another comparison poem with lots of writer's eyes. A modern train. You see the picture? A train is a dragon that roars through the dark. He wriggles his tail and sends up a spark. He pierces the night with his one yellow eye, and all the earth trembles when he rushes by. And that is the end of our poems. I hope you read them many times.